Hello, everybody, and welcome back to In the Margins.
Right.
As always, I am Eli, the Dungeon Master for this lovely group of Chuckle Fucks. I'm joined, as always, with Casey, Jared,
Howdy.
and Brian. Brian, say hi.
First, you take the most sane before the one most crazy.
All right.
Come on, was Brian doing the thing?
I also did it out of order. Normally, Jared goes first.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So,
Jared, are you ready?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so today we are doing once more the Ultimate RPG Campfire Card Deck game by James D'Amato. We did this for a previous episode a good while ago, and we decided to do it again, but we're going to try and hopefully get different categories. But if we do, it's fine because we only did 2 cards of the categories each. So,
now we get the sexy questions.
there's no questions like that.
Aww.
There's no there's no NSFW pack for this like there is for Cards Against Humanity.
That would have been fun.
So put your kinks and bullets away, dudes.
But that's the fun.
Who knows? It's like 90% of my character.
All right.
For Redwood?
What are you, a
That's
bard?
surprising.
All right.
Well, he could technically be called as a sorcerer since he is using his own, basically.
No, he's using magic from nature and then magic from the arcane, which is like studies.
Yes, but he's not studying it.
No,
The
he
difference is, it's like the difference of being a woodcarver versus like having a bunch of relics. The relics, that's more sorcery. You've had that handed down. You're taught how to use them by like your parent or whatnot, which is really easy for you. I am the fucking woodcarver. I'm designing this with almost no safety measures, and I could absolutely kill myself.
You almost did
That
when
would be fun.
you almost did when Jared created the wand of fireballs. And
I'm the woodcarver's assistant with no sense of self-preservation.
you keep getting your hands really close to the buzzsaw, and he's kind of concerned.
I thought it's like having a kid a pocket knife. It's like, this can't go wrong.
That's a
And the
horrible
kid
thought.
immediately turns it towards himself and tries to do a dramatic reenactment. You have to stop him.
It doesn't retreat. It doesn't retreat into the handle like those prop knives. Stop.
Yeah, just wait till you have to start watching out for Chisel and his magic.
All right. So, the way we're going to do this is everyone is going to be in character when they answer these questions. I will actually be taking up the role of our most recent NPC of Chisel's father to answer those questions. We're going to be rolling a d6 to determine what category we will be answering the questions from. There are 6. Past, present, companions, dreams, world, and hypotheticals. And so we're going to keep this random, and here we go. We got past, but I think we did that one already.
I
But
don't know.
I believe we did that one already, but we can do it again. Because we are tapped into a lot of character history. Jared, what are you doing?
He's
What?
trying out the green screen.
Don't worry about it.
And then, so that's your past, and then that's a 1.
We did your world, hypothetics, your past, and your dreams.
Okay, so that technically...
I scrolled all the way up to look at them.
Thank you. So that means that we now... That means technically we only have our present and companions. So...
But we also did only 1 card from each, so we could just go through a different card.
Yeah, I'm sure there's more cards.
yeah.
topics to
Well,
talk
I'm
about.
worried about repeating cards. You know what I mean?
Well,
we
I can look
just
at the-
throw that card out.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm looking at the 4 that you've sent me, and I can tell you which ones it was.
Okay.
Eli has messaged me so many things since then, I will have no clue.
Alright, so this is Dreams. We're not doing that one. We're doing Past and Companions. Is the ones that we got. Where is Past? Here it is.
Ah, found him.
Okay. So, these questions will explore characters' history and backstory. They'll help you explain where your character came from and how they are growing. And then companions. These questions explore the relationship within your group and how characters feel about each other. They will help you make connections and define your relationships.
Ew, feelings.
I know that's not exactly something that you're very comfortable with doing, but something that
Especially not me.
Ew, relationships.
Alright, just give me a quick second to shuffle these.
Yeah, taking a look, I didn't get any of either of those categories last time.
I don't think that, yeah, I don't think we did. Well, the companions one we didn't even do, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know who did that.
We didn't get to talk about Sustius.
Are you still on your like mistrust?
He is on the mistrust this guy who they met in like episode 1.
We met, and then he left, and that's it.
But also around
The
the same
only
time,
survivor, the one without his eyes covered and just happens to be the understudy to the Oracle, and then leaves without any accompaniment.
No, he left with the hunters.
yeah, the guy
He
really
left to go find the hunters.
No, he left with
Oh,
the
wait.
hunters
No, he
at the
followed us
town.
to the town.
yeah.
And then the
So-
hunters left with him to go
How
to the
sus.
Golden Sanctum. You're just paranoid.
I think it's
That's how I survive.
there's another NPC, another campaign as well that you're sus around the same time.
Well, Jared, that's also your
As
campaign.
I remember right. Yeah, that's Jared's campaign where we got traumatized by Crow, right, Casey?
Well, Casey wasn't there for Crow's betrayal.
No,
I
he
was
wasn't.
there when we started, and he started speaking an ancient dialect of Orc that was specific to me, and that was strange as hell.
But like, and Crow also knew like a whole bunch of other different languages too, not just that.
Casey wasn't there for the betrayal, but he was there for the battle afterwards.
Yeah.
That was really funny, though, to just be like, what is happening?
Honestly, I would not mind going back to that world. I don't know how we would do that, but that would be fun.
Alright. So, same thing as last time. You each are going to get a picture of 2 cards that I'm going to pull from the bottoms of both decks. One from each category this time instead of shuffling both categories together. So that way we keep things a little bit more interesting. Okay. Okay, there's that one.
That wasn't me.
They don't show up on stream. Eli can't hear it.
They don't show up on stream because I turned off everyone's soundboard.
Oh,
How dare!
So I know that. So things like you spamming it doesn't affect my stream.
I did it once.
I
Excuse me.
hey, when we're actually in stream, we're good about it. Just now, since we have
This-
no downtime, we're gonna spam.
We are
Eh.
children!
We are children that you have left unattended for 5 minutes.
That is true. I did do that.
Oh my god. Did anyone take a look at the age chart thing I sent last week?
Oh yeah, I saw.
I'm so fucked.
You're a child now.
No. I'm 18. That's the start of puberty for elves.
Oh.
Oh, thanks for sharing with the class.
I said that last week. Because the stage of life for elves and humans is different, obviously. Because for human, it lists puberty ending at 17, but for elves, it begins at 17 and ends at 24. So I went from 27 as young adult to 18, which is start of puberty.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I think that one's near the tail end of puberty.
Alright, and then
Did you ever find one for gnomes?
Why would I look that up?
Because
Or
we have a gnome in the
chisel.
party.
yeah, Chisel is technically the only adult in the group.
Makes sense why the old man needs so much assistance.
What's wrong?
Alright,
I act younger than both of you combined.
which is also really funny.
Sad.
Alright, everyone has their cards on their end. I'm going to grab my two. Alright, so everyone's got their cards. Everyone prepare. So what we're gonna do is we're going to. There is 5 of us.
Four. There's
Four.
four of
There's
us.
4. I see they have a music bot
You
up, so my brain.
There's 4 people and a AI.
4 people in an AI.
Unless if you want to do shrub as well.
Shrub does not qualify because Shrub is technically me. Although I could act as Shrub instead. I will act as Shrub instead. I think that's a good idea.
I think it
Yeah,
I will be. Right
Shrub
back.
is more
I'm
a member
getting
of the
triggered.
party.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Shrub is more of a member of the party. Alright. We will wait for Brian to return, but I'm going to roll a d4 to see who goes first.
Hey, I have a question.
It's Brian.
How spoiler am I allowed to get with these?
It's completely up to you. Act as your character would. Is the best way for me to describe it. Because this is questions that you would answer as your character. That's kind of like the whole gist of this. So,
Who's going first?
you are. I rolled
Oh,
I
boy.
rolled a d4 and I did it in order of like who all is on the screen, and you got first.
Oh boy. I think I'll do my companion card, which reads, "Who among your companions do you wish would teach you a skill?"
Had a C from everybody.
What?
Nothing.
They said how to see from everybody.
Oh no, that's not a skill that
Yeah.
that Chisel actually would like. How to shape the magic around him.
And who would you
Uh,
like to have you teach the skill? Or like
Who
teach
else?
us?
Shrub, of course.
Excellent.
Oh,
Good to know.
good to know.
This look of
Great.
the look of
But honestly,
defeat.
it would be Shrub and Red. Mostly because Thevin is basically as a novice as I am,
That's true.
or
And
will be.
he's also working with his own kind of magic that he's learning from an entity that's separate from your current world. Like the magic he has is completely different.
Yeah, it's real redneck jigger rigging stuff together here.
I
You're
can
literally
like just
just
like
carving-
imagine the giant alchemical goggles just.
You watch as Seven just makes a potion because that's kind of one of the directions it's gonna be going into, and it's just moonshine.
That is exactly how alcohol first started.
It's also toilet moonshine. It's not like
It's a bathtub moonshine,
bathtub
and it
moonshine.
is.
All right.
want some ash wine?
So we're gonna go ahead, roll another d4. This time, if we get a
Shall I roll d4 since I was?
actually, yeah. If you could re-roll roll us a d4, but if you get a 1, re-roll because that was you.
If we're actually rolling real dice, I'm gonna go with my dice.
That is a 2, so it is now Shrub's turn.
Shrub's turn. All right.
Let me find a better
Shrub's card reads, "Who in this group do you feel is the most optimistic and pessimistic?" I think out of
wow.
everyone in this group, I can't believe I'm saying this, 7 is the most optimistic.
Yeah.
And
Because he's stupid.
Redwood, I love you. I am your familiar, but unfortunately, you are the most pessimistic out of the group.
What about me?
You're in the middle. Chisel,
What?
you're in the middle. You have your moments of pessimism, but most of the time, like, it's like a healthy balance, whereas 7 is just constantly optimistic because it's either he's lacking brain cells or doesn't know what's going on, or the other is because Redwood is just a walking ball of stress and anxiety.
I'm gonna correct Shrub right there. It's not like Thevin doesn't know what's going on. It's that he does know what's going on and says, "Fuck it, we ball."
You ignore it.
It's not ignoring.
That leads
And
to
then I get
the
beat to
0
death.
brain cells.
I love
That
Casey.
leads to the 0 brain cells.
I love Casey's response to me pulling out the Shrub voice. You're just like. All right, so that is my companion card. I'll go ahead and roll. Technically, we should only be getting a 3 and a 4, so let's see. 7. You're up. Choose your past or your companion card.
Alright, so this is the past, and it's what change have you made in your life that brings you pride? How does it impact you on a day-to-day basis? And for Thevin, it actually would have to be actually traveling with these chuckle fucks as long as he has. Because before the start of the campaign, Thevin was very much isolationist, like always working alone, always being alone, thinking that if he was to travel with anyone for too long, he would kill them. Yes, it's almost happened a few times, but so far he's actually been like helpful and like striving to protect them and keep them alive. And the fact that he's like been traveling with these two for so long and they're not dead, to him is like a real source of, I'm getting better.
No, you're not. We're just getting lucky.
I wouldn't say getting nat 20'd on several times in a row is considered lucky, but okay.
I got chicken nuggets.
Oh, I would love chicken nuggets right now.
I got McDonald's chicken nuggets and spicy buffalo sauce.
Oh,
And I am living the dream right
I
now.
love McDonald's.
Since he hasn't not have a chance to answer yet, we then move to Redwood.
Yes, now we move to the final member.
Oh, I can't choose.
Flip a coin.
It was very hard for me to choose too.
Do you want me to flip a coin for you?
I'm surrounded by dice.
Yeah, but I have a coin
It's
literally
not the fun
right
one.
here. I can go
Let's be
fuck
honest,
myself.
Evens we go past, odds we go companions. Odds. I think. Well, my question is, who in your life do you hope to one day introduce to your companions, and do you think they would get along? I would hopefully one day like to introduce the party to Ulron. And I am 80% sure upon meeting, Thevin would find some way to try and kill him. Because Ulron is the dragon.
Yep. 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 Yep.
And what about Chisel?
Chisel-
I think without being able to see him, you'd have a much more reputable conversation with him. Because from what I understand about Elrond, he's a very patient type of person, very educational. He was sort of my mentor for a lot of stuff. But I guarantee I'd have a damn conversation with them, and it's like, I know they're dragons. I know they're rare. Please do not kill him.
Yes, I'm not going to kill him yet.
And
Think
you,
if I were-
motherfucker, you'd find a way to try and steal some scales off of him, or maybe his tail.
I think
Hey,
I think
dragons are reptiles. Dragons shed. Of course, I'm gonna grab some scales.
I
Let's see what I can do with them.
I think it's more along the lines of Redwood being like, okay, I know you're tempted to try and kill him. Don't, because you will become a singe mark in the stone.
Never stopped me before.
But when I was introduced to, Elrond is a green wormling dragon,
so
which means he may be small, but he's still a dragon, and he's going to poison you to death.
You'd be a puddle on
Don't
the floor.
be stupid.
you would literally become a flesh puddle just in the in the cavern. All right.
Good soup.
Good soup.
He is mainly in his image. All right.
That's
So-
why I asked about spoiler level, because like we have the rule of if your character doesn't know it, act like you don't know it. But it's a little teetery.
Yeah. All right. So, on to the next cards for everybody. That is cocked. All
In a
right.
circle.
No, I'm just gonna keep rolling the d4, just to keep it interesting.
Oh, man. I might have to go twice in a row.
Well, I got I ended up going next. So, what is the worst insult you have ever suffered, and what did you do in response to it? I think the worst insult I ever suffered was Redwood and I were traveling. Where was it we were traveling? We were traveling through the Witcher Expanse, hopping from one small village to the next, and we encountered some travelers. And they called me a mangy mutt, so I lit their butts on fire.
The worst you could have done.
Yeah.
Their horses ended up getting...
Worst she has done.
Their horses ended up getting scared and running away, which was really funny to watch. But that's I got scolded for it for like an hour afterwards, but it was worth it. That's
Again, that's not the worst you could have done.
it isn't the worst that she could have done. So that was my 2 cards. We're gonna go ahead and roll again. That's me again. That's Shrub again. What is it this time? Casey! Redwood.
I don't like my card because I can't. It's difficult to think of.
Too bad.
My past card is, what was the worst job you ever had? What made it awful? And what did it teach you?
If you want, I can give you something if you roll me history.
Oh no.
I
What?
love doing this. I love
Redwood
doing on
add
the
to
fly
history.
stuff.
Well, time to pull up Roll20 so I can see my character sheet.
Well, imagine not having physicals.
Shut up.
It's not updated.
Oh,
What is it?
natural 1. So I guess I'm on my own here.
Just ad
I
lib.
will- no,
Just
I
literally
will-
ad lib.
I will be merciful and let you re-roll that because I can't. No, you wanna come up with it
They
on your
decided I'm on my own.
own? Okay.
I think we decided that when Redwood was traveling, in order to afford supplies and stuff, he would do druidic duties, whether that was purifying food or helping grow crops or being medical aid. I think one of the worst things that had happened to him, one of his worst jobs, was at one point he had lost his adventuring bag and had to earn back all of the supplies he had. And so he spent, I want to say, a full year working on a farm, which, yes, he's a druid. Yes, it's nature magic and such. but spending every day harvesting, growing, and using magic to fuel that is so exhausting. And I think that's where he got the spell Wild Cunning. He eventually is like, there has to be a workaround. I am a druid surrounded by plants. I should talk to them.
All right.
And so he just sort of started working the spirits to work the fields because, god damn it, it's fucking hot.
That's fair. All right. So that leads
So,
us.
question.
What's up?
Are you saying you're the only druid that knows Wild Cunning?
No. I think it was one of those things where he was like, hey, do any plants happen to know of a way I can fix this?
It's sort of like how every country has their own form of the pancake. Redwood just sort of discovered Wild Cunning because he needed it, just like most druids would.
All right. So that leaves Seven and Chisel with questions. That is 7 as you.
Alright. So the other one is your companions. Among your companions, which would you prefer to marry, share a bed with for one night, or betray? The married thing, I hope, can expand to NPCs as well.
It can expand to NPCs, yes.
Okay. So if we're thinking about the married expanding to NPCs, honestly, the Princess of the Feywild. Not for any like actual attraction, one could say, but because they are
Just to
further ahead.
experience it?
The experience, yes, but also it's like, yo, if I become the king of the Feywild, there's a lot of things to hunt there, and they're further along than us.
You ever fucked in anti-gravity?
Yes.
It's like the it's like the one scene in Baldur's Gate with Gale in the astral plane.
I guess. As for share a bed with, when I take this in the literal sense, the meaning of the word, shrub, because she'd be toasty to like snuggle up to.
Don't make it weird.
Yeah,
Casey,
don't make
do
it
not
weird.
make it weird.
Like how Chisel does it.
He just said he wants to take my fox companion to bed. I can be a little weird.
Okay, now betray.
Redwood.
Hey.
Yeah, it would have to be Redwood.
Redwood, I feel
Hey.
like Redwood is unfortunately one of those kinds of characters who's like, you've earned my trust. I gotta respect every decision you make. And then the moment that he gets betrayed, he's like, well, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, the thing is, the reason why I wouldn't be Chisel is Chisel is honestly too sweet, even too much of a bean to betray, and I feel like whatever Thevin does technically wouldn't be a betrayal. Redwood, however, with his thirst of knowledge, I can see him going down a darker path. And after that one scene with the golem where it became more beast-like, you could say, and I'm the hunter.
I would say the only reason why
It's
you would
not
betray
betrayed
Redwood.
by, it's betray.
Yeah, I know.
I think the only reason why you would betray Redwood is to get back that wand that you crafted,
Possibly.
and that's
Oh,
one of the
The
reasons why
story
you
of
would
Weaved is
betray
that
him.
thing exploded after the first use.
But
That thing is
you-
thoroughly hidden.
but we've never seen you use it, ever. So how would
I
you
used
know
it
it?
once on the bridge, and I said it exploded.
I don't
In the
remember
cannibal
that, but-
camp, I used it on the bridge.
Oh, the one use?
No, it's not.
I said it was a one use. It's got like 5.
Ah.
Yeah, it has 5 uses, so he has 4 left, but he used it.
I just said it exploded. I didn't say it can do it again. I just said it exploded.
Hmm.
Probably one of
They-
the funniest moments of that fight was just him going like, "This'll work." Yeah. All right. So is that the end of your answer to your card there, Jared?
Mhm.
All right, then that leaves us with Chisel's card. He shoves a fry in his face.
My card is, which of my skills have I struggled the most to master? And how and why did you doubt yourself in this learning process? Would anyone like to guess? What skill?
Feeling it's just all your skill.
No. The blind fighting.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
fair enough.
And the second half of the question was how and why did I doubt myself in the learning process? Well, that's rather easy because I was blind, for one.
Yeah.
Two, I didn't know it existed. Like, I didn't know, and I think mine's more of a variant than the actual fighting style, so I literally had to make it on my own. So yeah, that was fun.
Next up, everyone got a new set of cards to go ahead and answer from. So,
And it is Redwood. I just rolled a d4.
all right.
Stab me, brother. So, we're gonna go with my companion card first. What makes this party unique, and how does it compare to other groups you've been a part of? I'm gonna take this from a player perspective. I think what's interesting in making this party unique is that we are not, like, as social with each other as characters. Because all three of us are very, like, even at this point, we're very much strangers to each other. None of us know our home lives. We only see what we've experienced. And in most of our previous campaigns, we're very roleplay heavy. We get into arguments. We talk about stories. We bring up stuff. And the only things our characters know about each other is what has been shown in the sessions.
Well,
Yeah.
I hate to say, you're about to learn how my family and home life is in the next 2
I
sessions.
know, but that's still
Exactly.
like part of the main story in the confines of the campaign itself. Like everything you've learned about Seven has been because of what's currently happened in the story through the campaign, through plots. We just don't really take the downtime to just talk.
Because
Yeah.
honestly, we don't really have a lot of downtime.
You guys are constantly on the move.
Mm-hmm.
And
But
I
yeah.
think
And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, it's just we don't have the downtime to just sit. We are Seven's either hunting, Redwood's either experimenting with his magic, or Chisel's basically being chiseled.
Yeah.
I like how that's
And
like a
I-
task list, because like Redwood, practice magic. 7, go hunting. Chisel, be you.
Would you
Yeah,
say it's more of a task for me or a task for everyone else to watch me be myself?
I think it's a bit
Yes.
of both.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's not a bad thing, not at all.
Yeah, it's
It's
just
just
interesting.
I think also that's something that
we are a group of strangers.
I think what makes it really interesting though is that because you guys are technically strangers with one another, you're not afraid to dish out arguments with each other.
Yeah, we've been in a few arguments.
There's been
I have it.
there's mainly Redwood and 7. But you two, there's like you guys aren't afraid to get into arguments with each other, and you're not afraid to like, you know, make your
Basically hurts someone else's feeling.
Yeah.
I mean, in one of the other sessions, Seven did, because Chisel's being a lazy piece of shit, tie him up like a burrito, and then as soon as danger happened, spin him like a Beyblade.
I almost drowned.
I tried to save you. You're fine.
He only got
I
saved
never
because
did.
of divine intervention.
I
I
was going to
tried.
help.
I tried.
The problem with that is I was stuck under a boulder. Levitate would not have helped me.
Levitate would allow me to get down underneath the water with you, help you out, and then bring us up.
Now, remind me, when you use your wild magic surges, the next spell that you get is the one that you accidentally used, right?
Yeah.
So he could.
I just learned the spell.
Yeah.
So he
Yeah,
could turn me into a
that's my
potted plant by accident.
All right. So that is Casey's question answered.
Would Redwood be able to still talk to me as a plant?
Yeah.
Druid speak.
I love
You
how
wouldn't be able to understand me.
I love how no, I think he would. I think his language for that time period would change to
Druidic.
Druidic or like plant speak. All right.
I have become an awakened shrub. Fear me.
All right. Now, Casey, if you could go ahead and roll a d4.
Oh man, but I don't have any dice.
Shut the fuck up.
Haha.
I have to open up my jar of d4s.
I loved how many jars of dice you had on the table when we did the in-person session. There was just way too many.
That's my organization system.
We have a die for every
Two
occasion.
becomes shrub, right?
2 becomes
Yes.
shrub. All right. What is the last thing that you tried that you unexpectedly loved? Did that open you up onto other experiences? What is something that I did that I loved?
Exploring.
Exploring has been fun, but I've been exploring with Redwood for a very long while. But I guess we've been exploring off the beaten path. Especially recently. I did enjoy helping Venkashale cook, though. That was fun. I did like being his little fire starter for that. Because he gave me the scraps of the things that we couldn't put in the stew. So I got to eat while I was working.
Okay, Calcifer.
Has that opened you up to more cooking?
I would be open to more cooking if you wanted to cook more. I would be...
Sorry, we're currently on the cinnamon gumball diet.
Why? Yeah.
No, we're with Chisel's folks. We're on no diet.
Yeah, you are not dieting with my family.
I'm surprised that with how much Shrub has consumed within these past few weeks, that she has not gotten chubbier.
Well, isn't she
She's
fire
a little
spirit?
burning fire. She's
That's-
literally melting those calories away.
That's true. I guess that's fair. But
That's an interesting diet strategy.
Burn.
Light yourself ablaze.
Hey, it's
Yeah.
to die for.
you'll melt that fat right off.
Put the dye in diet.
All right. So that leaves Chisel
Me and Evan.
and 7. All right. So that is Chisel.
Well, I don't know which one to pick because they're both horrible.
No one ever said that these questions
I
were gonna be
figured out
nice.
what my worst job was.
Well, I think I'll pick the companion card. And it reads out, if you were in a disaster with one of your companions and had to spend a long time waiting for rescue, who would you prefer being stuck with? And why?
This is
Actually,
gonna-
that's an interesting question.
That is a very interesting
Yeah.
question. Pick me.
I do have a question.
What's up?
Would Shrub and Redwood be together?
Shrub is his familiar. So yes.
Yes, but in a disaster, would they somehow be together?
There's not a way I can summon her.
there isn't, so probably not. If they got separated, then
Well, it's
probably
not
not.
guaranteed.
I think I would choose Redwood. Mostly because, I hate to say it, but he is my best chance on finding food. And
He has
food.
he has a
Get fucked, Mr. Hunter Man.
he gets it's really I think it makes sense. Like both have their flaws and strengths. Like they both have their various weaknesses and strengths. And I think Redwood is probably one of the more resourceful out of all of them, unfortunately. No offense to you, Thevin, but you have so much shit from just hunting and like nothing else.
And Chisel doesn't eat meat. So, a druid or a hunter, I'm going to pick the druid
I
just
don't
'cause he
think
could
you can
summon...
be I don't think you get to be picky in a natural in a
Yeah.
disaster.
It said who?
unfortunately.
What?
It
This
said
is
who?
this question
It's
doesn't
a
allow you to be picky.
hypothetical.
That's true. The
Yeah.
question does allow you to be picky.
Yeah.
So I think I would choose Redwood, mostly because he would be able to find food that I would agree with. A lot easier than Redwood tasting a mushroom and getting high for the next 6 hours.
I like that. That's good. All right. So that leaves Seven.
Yeah. All right. So let's go with your past once again. What secret do you have that you consider too embarrassing to share until now, and does it still embarrass you?
Yes, let's see the secrets you hold. We
So
just
I
found out that he had a girlfriend that he accidentally killed.
That's not embarrassing.
That's
That's
just-
traumatic.
It's just
So,
bad.
well, actually, technically, yes and no.
You.
So,
I do not recall you ever explaining to me that you had a partner in your
oh yeah,
backstory.
well, that's one of the things. It's like one of those things where like it was so long ago, it didn't really matter. It doesn't affect the main story because it's like a little funny thing of like on the first like hunting group because village of hunters, we have hunting traditions. We go
Get
out,
lost?
not to get lost, but just to do a hunt with a bunch of newbies, and accidentally hit a girl he liked, thus ending any chances he had with her.
When you
You shot your crush.
I then accidentally
You
shot his
literally
crush.
shot your shot.
I shot my shot. And it failed.
Now the question is, where did the arrow land? That's really important.
Well,
I'm
he can roll a d20 and see.
D4.
It's a D6 to determine where in the area you're.
Okay. So as DM, I'll let you decide what is what as I roll this.
Yeah.
That's a 3.
You shot her
Jesus
in.
palmed.
You shot her in the arm, basically.
Okay.
You shot.
Not that bad.
You shot her in like the shoulder area. Not bad, but still like she couldn't really do a lot for a good while.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's still. Well, technically she's dead already.
Oh, yeah,
but
she's
it's
dead.
better than being dead.
That's why I said you're kind of half right, because eventually I did kill her.
It just wasn't your girlfriend, so.
Not at the time.
You didn't. I won't say you slaughtered your entire village. You just slaughtered your family.
I think it's more dramatic if it was everyone.
That's unfortunate. I get to decide.
You know,
Why?
What is it?
Casey.
Is this
Why? No,
In
it's in general. Why?
You know
That's
what?
all I can think of.
That's really funny though. All right, now that leaves.
I sent the Ace Ventura like pointing at the leg with an arrow in it meme.
All right, so
We have one card left each.
Yep.
yes. So once again, Jared, if you could roll that D4.
Das ist dos.
Me. All right. This is my companions card. Who among your companions do you think knows you the least? What would you need in order to open up to them? 7. And I'm not opening up to him because he almost killed me.
I apologized for it.
That
No,
doesn't.
you were passed out while you were doing it.
I eventually apologized for it.
No, you didn't.
No,
You
because you
did.
went from killing her to passing out, then to a funeral, and then to an inauguration, and then we left.
If you
I apologized to
you
Redwood.
apologizing to Redwood is not the same as apologizing to me.
But you're the familiar.
But-
Of course it's like apologizing to you.
But you can I have a personality. I can think for myself. Rarely. But I
You
do.
hit a man with your truck and apologize to his dad.
That's exactly what happened. All right. So that means up next
You
is
get to roll.
it's me again. Chisel.
Hello.
You're up next.
Okay. Oh boy, I don't know how to answer this one. It's the past card. Outside the tools of your trade, what is a personal effect that you carry that means something to you? And where did you get it? I don't know if I can share this, Eli.
Could you
Share the dragon.
could you DM me and I can tell you yes or no?
Yeah, hold on.
Eli said spoilers are on the table as much as you want to.
I know, but Brian's cautious like that.
Yes, but it is a big secret.
I don't think
If
we.
blank slate is anything to go by, I'm incredibly bad with secrets.
I think this one's okay because you've tried touching on it before. It's just it's up to you to determine how much of the story of how you got it is something you want.
Could I roll a history? 'Cause I don't really know the full story as a player.
Yeah, you can roll history for me and then give me the number.
Well, that's a 23.
Okay. So you
Like I said, it's a loaded question and a loaded answer.
Well, okay, so the world of Umaria currently, the hemisphere of it that you guys are all in, is still in the stages of discovering like how to forge metal and how to use it and things like that. You guys are in those very early stages of that. The other half of the world, specifically to like the northwest area,
The Land of Blossoms.
the Land of Blossoms, specifically, they're a little bit more advanced. Chisel has family, very distant family from the Land of Blossoms, and are also
My family got around.
and also a little bit more magically advanced than the Woodger Expanse area. So they're able to occasionally send metal objects and things like that. And one of them was a metal rod that Chisel's parents gifted to him as part of his hammer for him to use for his travels. Mainly to use as a walking stick, but he added the stone brick onto it afterwards.
Well, I don't have to answer the question because you just answered it for me.
Yeah, well, because
I don't really know the full story of it, so it was literally just ad-libbing.
You have mental stick.
I have metal stick that counts as basically clan royalty.
you're
As heir, just
it's I would say you wouldn't necessarily be considered royalty. You would be like kind of at the same status of like a duke or a baron, which is still nobility but not royalty.
that's what I mean. Nobility, not royalty.
All right.
I just really wish I could have seen the princesses, the wild, bleh,
Feywild Princess?
Feywild princess and her guards using metal spears and swords.
Oh yeah, you would have had a field day with that.
I mean, yeah, you were. 'Cause
I
that
didn't
was
see it.
you didn't see it.
I was asleep.
The thing is, if we ever get access to the Feywild army's arsenal, both me and Chisel would be like geeking out over it, but for completely different reasons.
All right. So that was who hasn't gone yet. Me.
Redwood and me.
I haven't
Okay.
done my second.
All right. Brian, if you would
Evan.
be so kind. Okay.
Oh, is it Devin?
Yup. I got a
Says-
4.
This is the companion card. Which companion have you been the angriest at, and why?
Redwood.
Actually, no, not Redwood.
Oh
I've
wait.
actually
Okay. Is
been-
this you answering as a player or as the character?
As Devin.
Okay.
As Devin, he has not been the angriest at Redwood.
That's saying something.
It's
Me?
actually been Chisel
What?
for a very, very early a scene involving sugar bread.
Ah, it's that personal grudge there that's still there from episode 2.
I
see.
just said it was
Yes.
too sweet for me. That's it.
You've earned an enemy for life, Chisel.
Yes, and I can smack your knees in. Don't test me.
All I had to do is drop an arrow and you'll hit you at maximum velocity.
That is just mean.
That's really mean, hype joke.
That is also probably a little racist.
Just a little? He's an elf calling me short.
Hey, this is D&D Fantasy Elves. This is the lanky folks.
Like I said, you're an elf calling a gnome short. When
Yeah.
I am at the basically height of my race.
Insults don't matter about facts.
Yeah, just wait till you try having kids. I'll make sure you won't. I'm at that perfect height for an uppercut swing.
Jesus. Alright, moving on. Casey.
Seven, roll it. Well, Casey.
Casey,
Yeah,
please.
Casey's the only one.
Change the topic, please.
What is the best meal you've ever had? Who did you share it with, and what made it unforgettable?
You did say the spices from that one town.
We were talking about the pepper bread from the coastal town. But I don't know if that's unforgettable.
There's the meals that you guys have had. You've had several meals with the people of Flexath. You've had several meals with the people of Emulum, and you've had
The dinner.
the dinner with Chisel's family, and then you had that meal with Ben Kashale. You could also make
I
one
really wanna
up.
say the dinner with Venkashale. The meal that we've demonstrated, the meals we've demonstrated thus far. I think the best meal was the one with Venkashale. Because it was simple, it was close, it was us getting to know each other. And we all as players got to fucking joke about the dude only has a fucking pot in his bag and his mom was a Spice Girl. And I think it was interesting because that was us like trying to get together. Yes, the meal at Chisel's place was great, but Redwood was so fucking fried. I don't think he had any brain power to appreciate the moment.
That is honestly fair.
I hate to say it, but you may need to gain more brain power, because that's going to be a normal thing till we leave.
Yeah, it's going to take him a while.
Alright, I think for the next one, we're going to switch up the categories here. Since we have done the companions and the past. Now we will be rolling d4s, but taking away these two cards.
Would you like me to roll the d4?
I got it. I barely get to roll physical dice with anybody, let me have
I
this.
know!
Okay, so...
We don't have enough in-person D&D because everyone's everywhere.
I mean, clearly 3 of us are in the same town.
So this one is...
Yeah, but weren't you planning to move somewhere?
I mean, eventually I still got like 4 more months to finish my degree.
Alright, so first category is the present. Questions to explore your character's beliefs, values, and opinions. And then,
You're getting political?
as political as you can get in a world where there's no politics.
I mean, there are rules for each city, town.
I mean, Bevan's obviously racist.
4 is...
What makes you think that?
You literally called me short.
4...
Yeah, it's an insult.
4 is hypotheticals. I think we actually did this combination last time, so I'm gonna roll again.
We did not.
Did we not?
Fine.
No.
Regardless, we're not drawing the exact same cards.
True. I'm one of those
No.
sticklers who doesn't like to repeat things, unfortunately.
actually, we did. We did your world, hypotheticals, your present, and your dreams. So I think we went through all of them.
Yeah, we've been through all of them. There's
It's
no way you can
matters.
draw a card and not draw a card from a category we've already seen.
But they're also big categories, so
Is that
Jared's just all fuzzy thanks to the background he has.
Hey, so for people who can't see, for some reason I don't know why my webcam is like just grayscale, and so I decided to put up one of Discord's more colorful things.
I mean, you could try unplugging it and plugging it back in.
It's the actual physical camera in my
Oh.
computer.
why is that
Oh,
so
that's even gonna.
why is that so clean for you, Casey?
I got a better computer.
That is true.
Apparently. Hey, it might not be the nicest, prettiest thing on the market, but it works.
Why is that picking up? Anyways,
It thinks it's human.
We're all in a tropical pool now.
All right. So-
I don't like the tropics. It's too cute.
Yet you live in a swamp.
Hey, I live indoors.
All right.
I mean, I do too, but I still got a swamp a good 10 feet outside my back of my house.
Oh my god, it's Skrunk.
Wow.
All right.
We should really bring back Scrum.
I love Skrunk. As much bullshit as he put me
Could be a
through,
channel character.
as much bullshit as he put me through, I love Skrunk.
What about Lost Sad?
I'm a little.
Loss is a problem. Scrunk is a problem solver.
No, Lost solved a lot of problems.
So,
Really ineffectively.
I didn't. I loved the campaign. I loved the one shot. It just didn't fit my character. Mostly because I built him to be the distraction. Like, he was a changeling rogue. He was literally built on being a distraction and disappearing into a crowd.
The benefit of that is that at least you didn't no clip to your death, so
That is true.
literally allow me to provide context. While I was with with our lovely companions here, doing visiting them all and stuff down where they live, I hosted a one shot. And in hosting a one shot, everyone, made their characters and stuff. We basically had Mickey Mouse as one of our party members, and he was a draconic bloodline sorcerer who was a gnome wearing really obnoxiously oversized robes. And he failed his stealth check, tried to cast suggestion, which he thought was command, so he used the word to describe throwing oneself out of a window. What is the word exactly?
Auto-defenstrate.
Auto-defenstrate. But the person he was using it on was an elf, so he had advantage on the charm effect, and he also got,
It was rather high.
it
for
was
the
also
save.
really high for his save. So instead, he said, basically,
Auto-defecate. And so we joked that the tiny little wizard put his hand out and said, "Shit yourself."
And then decided to
he then
disintegrate into the ground.
he then proceeded to cast Dimension Door, and he was like, "Can I do it on the floor below?" And I was like, "You could certainly try." And he tried, but because of the thickness of the floor, he ended up in it and ended up clipping his way down through the bottom through sheer force, taking almost all of his health away except for 1 HP.
Good times.
We couldn't get back on focus for like another 30 minutes.
We were laughing. I was laughing so hard. I still giggle about it. It's stupid.
Also,
Yeah.
problem with Dimension Door, it doesn't do that, sadly.
But too bad we did it anyway.
We
because
did it
I'm not-
anyways.
it was so cool.
I'm not saying that's bad. It's just looking at the spell, it doesn't.
If it doesn't, if you don't give it clear instruction, then it's not gonna work to the way that you want it. And, you know, unfortunately, he didn't give
It was funny.
he did not give it clear instruction.
There are two rules that transcend and override all rules of D&D, and that is the rule of cool and the rule of funny.
We
You get-
decided to do both.
That wasn't the rule of cool, that was the rule of whatever the fuck just happened.
So
Anyway, back onto current topic.
Back on the current topic. We are currently...
I thought we were just killing time until you did the other two parts. Deal.
Yes.
Thank you.
the hypothetical's funny for Chisel.
Well, I still need to get my cards now, you hear? So don't go spoiling things.
I'm not. It's funny.
I know, but you're speaking on things.
Here is your cards, Jared,
Got
and
you.
then we've got Casey working on yours. I have a feeling this is a card that you've already had before, so I'm gonna get you a different one.
Okay.
I saw the card and I was like, this is definitely something that Redwood has already answered before.
Might I ask what?
It was, what do you feel has more value, science or art?
Yeah,
Yes,
we've already done that
He
one.
did that one already.
Alright, and then,
And then we
there's-
went into a whole ethnic thing for a good 10 minutes.
Not
if I
ethnic.
remember.
Thanks.
Philosophical.
Ethic.
Yeah, I
You
said
said
ethnic.
You said
ethnic.
ethnic,
Oh,
as in,
sorry.
like,
Ethics.
race.
Racism.
Who's the
Sorry,
racist now?
ethics. Not Chisel.
Alright.
The DM already said that wouldn't work anyways.
And then, my two cards.
You know what? Let's change it up. Why not be Chisel's father for these two?
I'm not being Chisel's father for
No!
these. No, I'm being a party member, because that is what
Okay.
Shrub is. Alrighty! As always, rolling a d4 to determine who goes first. 3!
Me.
It's a 3, so that is Casey.
Alright. I think we've done my hypothetical before, but I think it's okay because we've changed since.
Mhm.
What's the first thing you would change about your life if you suddenly became wealthy?
I did that one.
Yeah, Chisel did that one.
And before, I don't think I had a proper answer for Redwood. But at this point, I think Redwood would open either a laboratory or an academy. Because he loves the creation and no one understands him in it. And so if he could create a space for himself and others to experiment and try it, Redwood would absolutely create a space to try and learn magic. I guarantee it'd probably blow up half a dozen times, but
I have a
It-
question.
that's what I
Construction!
think he'd do.
The reconstruction projects on this thing are insane!
I have a question.
Yeah.
How would Redwood design an academy? Going off of your answer.
I feel like
I
it would
think
actually
he would-
be in a big tree.
I actually
No,
don't think
not
so.
an enclosed space.
Oh, it doesn't have to be always in a close space. The big tree can just be like a part of the grander whole.
I think Redwood designs a mostly open area that is designated sections for different types of magic, and maybe small hutches and animal groves, and I think it's in like a college campus type of deal. Very open space and segmented areas for different types of magic and experimentation. Because any type of magic done in a confined space, guaranteed to cause problems.
That's fair.
That-
Especially when someone accidentally creates a wand of fireballs.
So yeah, I think I guess it becomes less of a academy and more of a magic valley.
Could I
Definitely
could
gonna
I
need a
do
large sum
the
of
same
land.
question? Could I do the same question?
If you want to answer the question, you can. There's nothing stopping
Well,
you.
No, not Casey's question, but how would the character design a school?
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
I think Chisel would not really design it, but make it his own. Like, he would take one of the tunnels from his family's home and just slowly start carving, spending even decades if he has to just make it his own little space to teach whatever he wanted.
That's fair.
I guess I also answer this to a degree as well. As for like Evan, what he would probably do is similarly just like in his hometown of just making this fortress that trains blood hunters. Since he is essentially the first blood hunter, you then pretty much start an order, pretty much. Because I feel like that's where he's kind of transitioning to, from a loner just out for himself to something like it's more, let's actually train people. Like this stuff that I'm doing, it's actually working out pretty good.
Yeah, apparently with how much damage you can do in one turn, if you're lucky.
I just, literally just realized that my answer to the question was make the first wizard college.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's basically what you'd be doing.
I didn't realize that that's what I was saying when I did it. I'm like, yeah, wait, that, huh.
Yeah, you're making this world's first wizard college.
Because wizard colleges are the most important part of being wizards.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I'd
you.
very
There's
say,
you.
oh,
There's you and one other wizard in the world. That's it.
Finder, killer.
I have a-
Must be. There can only
No.
be one.
No.
I have a question.
The
Purely
Highlander.
hypothetical.
Yeah.
What would Redwood and the girl make if they were married? Would they make a wizard or a sorcerer?
So the way that I actually have this world set up is that it kind of is like a peak and like a rise and descend sort of thing. So it's like the more magic you put into the world and things like that, the more like potency you gather, and then so there's like a very good chance of becoming sorcerer, and then like then it can either plateau or it can descend down to like wizards and things like that.
So wizards can bear sorcerer children?
Wizards can bear sorcerer children, yes. But that also means
Redwood's gonna make the first sorcerer by accident.
that also means that sorcerers can bear wizard children. So.
Or even non-magical children. You can make muggles!
This isn't Harry Potter.
Or is it squibs? I think it's
It's
squibs.
called squibs.
Squibs is the term for those who are born to magic families but can't use magic.
Isn't a fucking squib just a pre-wizard? Because wizard, you weren't born as a wizard. You studied to be a wizard. So if
Well-
two sorcerers had a child with the capacity for magic, that's a sorcerer.
I think the way that I kind of vision it is that it's a level of potency in one's magic. So that's why I said it could either plateau and you could continue having a line of sorcerers, but there's also a chance of, like
Peaking and then going down.
right.
Having one sorcerer in a family of wizards and then a family of fighters and just
Yeah.
so on, so on.
So that was Redwood.
Casey's.
So that was
That was
Casey's.
mine.
I'm gonna
I'll toss
roll
a die.
the die.
3 is me. Shrub.
My present. I could never forgive someone who ... and why? I don't
What
think
could Shrub never forgive?
Seven. Seven.
Not who, what?
I could never
Seven
forgive.
accidentally
No,
killing her-
it's
almost killing her.
I could never forgive someone who blank and why.
Yeah.
I think Shrub could never forgive someone who betrays Redwood. She cares for the party, don't get her wrong. But again, this is the familiar and their master.
Basically, a child and a father.
Yeah, it's literally
I would say Shrub is more than a familiar by now.
it's definitely one of those things where it's like, not only that, but we've also like made it very clear that Shrub is a portion of Redwood's soul. Both through their connection in his magic and through just who he is in terms of like his connection to Ithis.
And
And-
personality, right? That was
Yeah.
the familiar reflection.
Yeah, and personality. So there's more there than just her be like, she is technically, yes, you are correct, technically an extension of Redwood in that she is like his child, as weird as she is compared to Redwood.
It's all the repressed stuff.
Um
So, Devin, don't sleep with my daughter.
but basically it's like it also comes from the fact that you two have traveled for years together. You know the ins and outs of how each other work. And I think the idea of someone hurting her family in a way so blatant, but also at the same time so behind your back, would probably make her want to kill someone. Like, she would be furious.
This is really tying together a lot of interesting things. Like the point I brought up that we're basically a party of strangers. And Shrub hates a person who would betray Redwood. And Devins said, like, if I had to, it would be Redwood. And Shrub has this mild hatred towards Devin.
I'm
It's an
just a sweet
interesting
little angel over
connection.
here.
She didn't say that she has a mild hatred towards Seven. She just doesn't forgive him for nearly attacking her and not apologizing.
It's a little sweet little angel over here.
You are not an angel.
I'm a sweet little devil that can do whatever he wants and not have any
You're-
consequences.
You are just the least problematic character in this party, which is a first.
That is saying something with how much I've done.
You're not causing the chaos. We just are. We're trauma.
You guys are like that ball of rubber bands that you just constantly like tie up over and over and over again until like eventually something snaps.
I
So
used to have one of those actually. I
so
don't know what happened to it.
probably exploded. So that was Shrub.
You.
So that means
It's either me or Chisel.
that's me again. That was me again.
Just do odds evens.
Yeah. So Chisel,
Hello.
you're up.
Okay. Well, I'm doing hypothetical. If you had to remove one color from the world, which would it be?
All-
Does that make a difference
All
to you?
color.
Just- And Chisel
Wait.
doesn't actually know the names of any colors.
I think you would
He
know
was
the
not-
names, but I don't think you'd know what they would be associated with.
So I think he would remove blue.
There goes
All
the sky
blue.
and ocean.
It is. Hey.
It's an interesting question because it wouldn't really have a downside.
It would
There's
either
no,
honestly
there's
it would
no
either
right or
be
wrong answer here.
No,
it would either be blue or green.
Thing is, if you
Just
do it-
Chisel.
Chisel, I'm dressed in green.
Just
Chisel,
color.
no.
You forget Chisel's also dressed in a mild green.
so
it's
would
brown
the
and green.
oceans just become clear?
I think they
Well,
would.
oceans are the reflection of the sky.
Yeah.
No, it's the
So-
reverse. The sky is a reflection of the ocean.
So we would have a clear sky and a clear ocean.
We could see the stars at all times, along with the
Yes.
perfect spherical
Honestly,
thing of the sun.
dope.
That is pretty dope.
Honestly, that would probably be my backup character's dream. So, for context, my backup character is a druid circle of stars. So that would be literally his dream coming true, just to see the stars
I think that's just.
anywhere and everywhere.
I think that's just the general astronomer's dream.
No joke on you. He's the first astronomer.
Astronomer?
Yes, I can't spell. You've known this.
That's not spelling.
not
That's
spelling,
speaking.
That's talking.
That's
I
pronunciation.
can't English. I can't English.
I mean, we already had the ethics and ethnic discussion earlier. This stream.
I can't English.
I can't Ingus.
Can't Ingus eat dingus.
But
Are-
now it is.
He's an Ingus dingus.
Your
Oh, yeah,
turn now,
me.
Devin.
Yeah. So, this is the present. Which days or times of year are significant to you? How do you observe or celebrate them?
Yes, let's.
What's that face for, Casey?
I don't know.
Just because he
stretching
can
my neck.
make it.
Shocker, considering his last name is Winterfall, but it would have to be the winter time, as in that is when he was born, and just there's a lot of celebrations happening all that time for his tribe, and also that was when the thing happened and all the blood and killing. So
So you literally did it on your birthday.
I literally did it around my birthday. So it's both a time of celebration
And disaster,
and
apparently.
disaster. As for how Thevin celebrates it, he does his bow goes up full as an instrument, the war bow, so he plays songs. So what Thevin does is he makes a like traditional ceremonial feast, even if it's just for him, and then plays songs both of joy, like celebration of new life, and sorrow of what has transpired.
All right. So that is
Ooh.
that card. We're gonna go ahead and do 7. If you could go
Seven,
ahead and
roll
roll
a
that D4.
Oh, that reminds me, we are technically in the winter times, aren't we?
Yeah, you are in winter.
So it's almost your birthday.
Yeah,
When is Devin's birthday?
the
His-
solstice.
His birthday is not.
Of
for-
course, you chose the shortest day.
3.
What traumatic event happens this birthday?
All right, Casey, you're up.
Oh, that's me. Ooh. I've got a 2-piece card. What sort of law do you believe is permissible to break, and which should never be broken?
But we technically don't really have laws.
There are definitely sort of ethical things that I would consider to be more of a law than
But also, a lot of them are just depends on village to village.
yeah.
Oh,
It would
Jared disappeared.
it would count on village and also religious standpoint. Like what's more prominent.
Devin disappeared. Oh, he's back.
He's gone. He is returned. And he is gone.
Stop it, my boy. I think laws in the vague sense that shouldn't be broken are ones just to protect people. You have laws against laws for protection of people's emotional and physical boundaries and basic things of protection. And I think, like, law of hospitality. I think something like that should be broken because it's bringing disrespect to people in their place and just, well, I guess Redwood believes you should be an ass.
I feel like that's a general
As for which ones
consensus.
as for which ones like should be broken, I don't know. Redwood hasn't had much experience with like unfair rules. We don't have asshole rulers. Most rulers of this age are a tribal leader, and if you don't like him, you fucking kill him or kick him out.
Or you just leave.
Yeah,
but,
there's no monarchies yet, and so I don't know if Redwood would have like laws that don't be broken. I think there are ones that are absolutely fucking ignored. But I can't think of any examples.
We just haven't come across a village that uses slave labor yet.
I
That's
think
because slave labor
Redwood's
doesn't
law
really
base is-
exist yet.
Keyword being
I think
yet.
I think the basis of the question, Redwood's belief in laws and
Thank you.
rules and regulations, should be about protecting the people and fairness. Not communism.
But it always works.
No.
It doesn't! It has never worked!
All right.
I'm gonna take my D4. We're gonna. Right.
Hello.
You go.
Well, I now have the present card. Which aspects of your daily routine do you look forward to the most? And honestly, based how I've been playing Chisel currently, he doesn't technically have a daily routine. He
Sleep.
doesn't get the food. He doesn't make camp. It's so really the only routine is actually being able to see through his headband. So I think that 1 hour that he has, I think he would be most looking forward to is spending the night near the campfire, just looking up to the sky, trying to guess the stories of the stars up above. And shall I? Well, it's really just Shrub
Either
and
Shrub or
Evan
me.
now.
Yeah.
So
well,
evens is one, odds is the other.
evens is one, odds is the other.
Even. So, Shrub? Well, you're eating. So let's do Seven.
Alright. This is a hypothetical. If you had to spend a massive fortune in 1 week, but only had on temporary expenses and consumable goods, how would you spend it? This is gonna be real, like, stupid, simple answer, kitty. Someone has a cat.
That is what
That-
you would spend your fortune on?
Is that
No,
Daisy?
no, no.
Is that
Absolutely.
Casey has a cat.
This is Daisy.
Daisy. Devin would spend it pretty much all on sugar bread, let's be honest. Anything else that he doesn't have, he just goes out and get. And the things especially said, like one-time experiences or temporary consumable goods. And the only other thing Devin would even think about buying, or at least making, is like the stuff to make a ship to explore the world.
I honestly think that's not a good question, especially for right now, because we are
Yeah.
basically in an era of give and take.
Yeah.
No gold, no commerce. It's literally just a trading system.
So there is bartering, which you can easily substitute that, like purchasing just with, oh hey, if you had all the resources you want to trade away, what would you trade it for? And if it's still the category of like temporary things, then yeah, it's just mountains of sugar bread.
I really want sweets now. I'm gonna get ice cream after this. All right.
I think that's
That's
everyone
Shrub
except
now.
for Shrub.
Shrub goes
Yeah.
next. Shrub's got a hypothetical.
Oh,
If you could change something about society with the snap of your fingers, what would it be?
What society?
I wish I had fingers.
I wish I had fingers.
that we live in a society.
I would live in a society. I think. I think I would want more connectivity between places.
Oh god, the internet.
No.
No.
Mail, trains.
The way that everything is slowly done, and as a result, everyone is isolated from each other, and it's just not fun. So I think I would probably want it to be more communicative. Communicative? Yeah.
Communicative.
Thank
A
you.
landline in every household.
Yeah,
Holy
let's
crap.
ask the 2000s on how well that stayed.
The cat has now begun to walk across the desk. Alright. We're gonna do one more set of cards from this deck, and then we shall be calling it for the stream. Because we all have lives to attend to after this.
Sleep.
Ah! What is a life? All I see is a tail.
The cat's antenna.
It's searching for the brain cell.
It's not gonna
Oh,
find
no,
any.
now she's behind my monitor.
Oh no.
So if Casey just deletes, we know what happened.
Oh.
We know you're
No!
covered.
Oh no!
Alright. So that's that one. And
Doing good there, Brian?
I died.
Don't die.
I died.
Notification?
not
Yep,
for
probably
me.
from Eli.
Not for me.
No.
What did they say? Oh, down she goes. Oh, notification.
Everyone's got their cards.
I swear I'm done with the microphone.
Well, things have changed, so you can answer it again. Nothing wrong with that.
I have not.
Alright. Ba, ba, ba.
Oh, I'm gonna make Eli cry with one of my cards.
No.
Yeah, you know which one, don't you?
No, I didn't read them. I just took the pictures of them. I'm nervous now, though. That's for damn sure. Alright. I'll go ahead and roll. That is Casey, but Casey has stepped away from his monitor.
I'm here.
Oh.
I was letting the cat out of the room.
Go annoy the other family member's cat.
I'm gonna do my hypothetical first. Which of your ancestors would you like to meet? What would you talk with them about? Whoever the fuck decided the children should leave.
You sent a
Because
teenager out into the world.
Hasn't Redwood been traveling for like 10 years?
5.
5?
lifetime.
Half of his lifetime.
I was 15 when my circle was revealed.
And then you
And
left
it's
for unexplainable reasons.
I realized Casey, as the player, decided that Redwood left, but I think Redwood wants to know who the fuck designed that system. Because who sends a child who just discovered magic to go and try and find out that magic? Because this child has no idea how the fuck to live.
It was raised
Especially
up as
like
a
the arc,
wood carver.
the arc of Elvish aging. We're not officially out of children till 100, and Elvish children in Velico Devo get sent out at the age of 16.
That's even before puberty.
Yes,
That is basically the age.
puberty on the road.
You literally got kicked out of the nest as a baby bird and was left.
And expected
We're
to
not
learn how
gonna-
to fly.
We're not gonna deal with your emo phase.
Exploded a ball of fire. They're like, go.
Go, be free.
It wasn't even like be free, it was get the fuck out.
Because the whole system is they're supposed to learn about their circle and research how the connection of nature works with this circle, and basically be a magic researcher for nature magic. Redwood's given up on that. Redwood is now a researcher for his own circle of what?
Because
Why?
you are the first wildfire druid too. So like there's not necessarily anyone you can go to help you learn any of this. Like you don't have
Exactly.
a mentor.
That's in world, that's a stupid system. You've discovered magic no one's ever seen before. We're gonna let you figure that out on your own somewhere in the countryside.
Go be a hillbilly.
What if
for
this
30
kid gets a
years.
fucking circle of death?
Listen,
And-
I
I just sent a necromancer out into the middle of the plains to figure it out.
hey,
You might use it
listen,
for good.
listen. I said there was a system. I never said it was perfect. All right, roll for who goes next.
Jared.
Uh, so this one's going to be the presente. Apart from wealth and renown, what satisfaction have you found in the life adventurer? What type of reward would you like to see more frequently? Thevin's a bit of an adrenaline junkie, so the adventure
bit.
and the danger is the reward for Thevin. So it's just a constant
bit.
escalation. I never said a bit. I guess I think I did. Anywho. So yeah. So
I
it's a little
honestly-
cheesy to say, but the adventure is the reward for Thevin.
I honestly feel if there was drugs, Thevin would be on all of them just to see what would happen.
No. Maybe once, but that would be only a one-time experience. Because Thevin is disciplined enough.
If you did them,
to not
if you did them all at once, you would be high for a solid 2 months. Like just no come down.
I know what I said. I said just once on all of them. Even like the heavy addictive stuff, just all at once.
I feel like they'd cancel each other out. Probably become the most normal that Heaven's ever been in his life.
Anyway, next up is Shroob.
True. So I'm last.
Yes.
Yay.
But we still have one other round to get through.
Oh, I know. But I
Hypothetical.
know which card I'm going to do.
Hypothetical. Which 3 people, living or dead, would you like to share a conversation with over dinner? I think I'd like to say the head oracle from the group from the beginning. Thevin's grandma. And I would probably like to converse with his aunt again, too. She was nice, I liked her. That's who I would
For
pick.
some reason, I was thinking, like, one of Thevin's parents, because we didn't know who fucked him up.
Honestly, I could see Shrub going with one of Thevin's parents, Chisel's mom, and then Redwood's mom, and basically just gossiping. Just talking shit about their sons.
Well, it would definitely be interesting because it is like would be just girl talk, which is really funny. All right,
Casey's so lost because he just hopped back in.
Strub had to answer the question of which 3 people, living or dead, would you like to share a conversation with over dinner. She chose Thevin's grandmother, his aunt,
And the head oracle.
and the head oracle.
And then we joked, like, no, it's all our mothers, and then just be a gossip.
It's just gossiping and getting us in trouble.
All
Just
right.
an episode of the Golden Girls.
So it was who's gone already? It was me,
Chisel needs to go.
Chisels.
Chisel's the last one to go for this first round. Go ahead, Chisel.
Go ahead.
So, I'm going to
Oh.
choose the present. And the card reads, what is something that you hope for despite knowing that it will likely never happen?
Devin shuts up.
No.
Ah.
I'm going to go much deeper. I think Chisel would choose to see his brother again.
Aw.
You are a bastard.
Just to tell him all of the stories and all of the adventures he would see.
Oh.
And the second part about this is, why is it unlikely? Because Chisel doesn't know any sort of magic, and he doesn't know if magic can actually help him in that regard. Mostly because, as the DM has stated, no necromancy in any spells.
It's
Yeah.
more like necromancy is just like, eh,
Undiscovered.
yeah.
So that actually leads to a question. If Chisel had opportunity to resurrect his brother, would you?
Oh, that is a good question.
I don't think he would resurrect him. I think he would just talk to his spirit.
Okay, so at least speak with dead.
Yes, at least speak with dead. But not as constrictive as speak with dead actually is.
Mhm.
But I think he would either try to make an amulet that could house the spirit of his brother just so he could have a sense of familiarity with him.
Familiarity?
Yes, with him at all times, or an amulet that actually helps him talk with the dead, so he could talk to, well, his brother and tell stories, but also all of his family that he has lost. Just saying, hey, I'm still alive. You will not be forgotten. And now I am done on my spiel.
All right. So if you could go ahead and roll that d4.
Fuck. That's me again.
Honestly, it's the last round, so go ahead, get yourself over with.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I now have the hypothetical. If the challenges in your life felt out of control and you couldn't look to your companions, who would you turn to? Now, that would depend on where Chisel actually is when his life started getting out of control. But if he couldn't rely on Thevin, Redwood, or Shrub, I think he would either try praying to the stars and the guardians that are up in the heavens, or actually to the gods themselves. Because the last time he prayed, he actually got a somewhat answer. And if his life gets so out of control that none of his companions could help, really only the gods could help him.
Or not.
And now time to roll another d4.
Yeah? One again.
Well,
Who is it?
since you started talking, Thevin,
Oh, okay. Me?
yes, it's you.
Okay, so this is the hypothetical, which kind of contradicts the previous one, because it says, if you can remove the risk from any dangerous activity in order to try it once, which one would you choose and why? Which is very hard to answer, because I just said in the previous thing that Devin's an adrenaline junkie. The danger is part of the high. But I guess if that would remove the danger of one thing,
Skydiving.
no. It would actually be the negative consequences of just the most crazy, unhinged potion ever. Kind of like we were saying earlier about trying all the drugs at once. But without the
Trying
negative
all of the
consequence.
potions at once, all mixed
Drinking
together.
all the potions at once, drink together. Just all the chemical things that you can ingest all at once to see what would happen.
Eating the bead from the necklace of fireballs.
That too. Probably, that's like a cherry and a old fashioned.
Now I can't think
Definitely
of, I
would
can't
make
think
that
of
old
anything
fashioned
but
spicy.
the goblet, Casey. I can't think of anything but the goblet. Just
Okay. I rolled the dice, said true.
You're present. What form of art connects with you the most? When you seek it out, how do you prefer to enjoy it? I'm a fox. There is very little forms of art that I understand. But I do know that the most beautiful art is that of Mother Nature herself. and I like to spend it sunbathing on a nice warm rock
And
Such a
stiffing.
cliche answer.
Or kinda like how-
and sleeping.
Or how bears are just sometimes caught just gazing at nature, just taking in nature's beauty. They just find a nice spot and plop down and look.
Such a cliche answer.
Fuck
And
you.
it's a crime we haven't domesticated
No!
bears yet.
Did you think Shrub the Firefox was going to talk about the rise of the Renaissance?
What is the
Or
Renaissance?
did you think it was going to be Van Gogh? Or Impressionist? Or fucking hip hop
Or-
music?
Baroque or Roy Lichtenstein.
No, I was thinking, how about the architecture of every single building she's ever seen?
It's true.
Small.
architecture is art.
She
We've
doesn't
seen
get a
maybe
good
a
look.
dozen buildings.
She's small and she
seen-
doesn't
And
get
they're
good
all
looks.
in one village.
Wooden huts, jungle huts, stone cathedrals because of Chisel's family.
That is it.
Just
That is all you've seen.
stone cathedrals. Just I
God, imagine
Honestly-
acoustics. Oh,
You would love
Honestly-
that.
honestly going off of the whole like building, I would not be surprised if the dwarves or gnomes were the first people to have a kingdom. Just because they have the expansive areas for large
If
people.
Anything, it'd be like the kingdom and all but name.
I mean, that's technically what it is for you right now. That's like technically like you have the like a decently large area of living in the mountain. So
Everyone has their own room.
yeah, everyone has their own room.
We even have plumbing.
The thing, no, you don't have plumbing. You just dump it over the sides of the railing and call it a day.
I mean, it works. It doesn't even make a sound.
Turns out that pit leads to the Underdark, and there's just some like deep gnomes down there shoveling shit.
imagine it landing on you.
At terminal velocity.
You're just. Oh yeah, Doric the other day died by someone's turn.
Thing is, it wasn't the impact that killed him. It was the stench that things out into his nostrils.
The impact sure fucking hurt him. Though.
20 D100 poison damage from a falling turd. Okay.
Anywho,
Who's,
Redwood.
who's okay.
Redwood's the last one.
Which do you value more, vengeance or forgiveness? And how does this value impact your day-to-day life?
That's an interesting question for Redwood.
I feel like the further we've gone along, vengeance has been more and more of a probability.
I feel like I don't think Redwood's had any like major grudges except against fucking Ithis.
And that's not even
Um,
like revenge worthy. It's just annoyance.
Yeah. I think Redwood's fucking more just on like I don't know why you did this, but fuck off.
That's so good.
I don't want to know your reasonings. I don't plan to kill you, but I don't want to see you again. Just go away.
That makes me giggle.
And taking the funny to a bit more sad, I think that makes him more lonely of a person because like if Devin were to betray him, I think Redwood just cuts him out of his life. Doesn't care anymore, leaves, never contacts you again.
Fair.
Well, it would be just you and Chisel, basically. Unless if you just decide to go hermit again.
Redwood spent half of his life just being him and Shrub. So
That wouldn't
I
be a
think,
major change to go back.
yeah, for him it'd just be like, okay, we had a 6-month bout with this guy. He was friendly at first, but then he just turned out to be a dick. So fuck him.
what would
I got to
actually
meet
happen?
his sister.
Now I'm thinking about what would actually happen to the party if one of us was betrayed.
Well, that depends on who did betraying, or who was betrayed.
That
Okay.
does.
And how drastic.
Well, let's just say, Seven, sorry, you were the betrayer.
Okay.
Nobody died, but you betrayed the party.
Uh-huh.
How would that affect Chisel and Redwood?
That is a question that only you can answer there.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know, because to Chisel, you are basically starting to become family.
Oh.
And
That's
family is everything for Chisel. So either he would be driven to a rage and trying to hunt you down while being blind, which is honestly terrifying,
the swings at whatever's moving.
or he would just break as a person. Chisel,
I think Redwood would ask you to just leave. Because there is the mission of the party and they're trying to do something, and if you did something horrible enough that it's considered, betrayal.
like
Then I
killing
think
Rob.
If Redwood didn't give up on the mission, I think Redwood would just ask you to leave so that you can do the mission. Because you're too much of a. It's too much for risk.
If Seven was betrayed by one of y'all, I feel like similar to what Chisel feels like. Seven kind of after Seven's done some character development in the arc we went through with him. Y'all are become to be like a second village to him. It's like before everything went to shit. So I feel like that would be more like, hey, let's try and work this out. And if I am forced to kill you, it's gonna be done with tears in his eyes, kind of thing.
Well, that took
Wow, I'm really cold.
a really depressing turn. Really quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was literally one of the questions earlier just had me thinking what would happen to the party.
Yee.
Yeah.
Like, would Chisel just go home, or would he just stop being Chisel?
Eli is now taking notes on, okay, writing the party's darkest hour. We're gonna have a huge misunderstanding where one of them betrays the other.
I think if it came down to it, Redwood would try to continue to do the mission on his own. If, let's say, like, Thevin betrayed the party and Chisel, being more emotional, tries to reconciliate with Thevin and figure out what's going on, be family, Redwood's gonna be like, we can't do this. If you were a risk before when you were transforming and beating people up, you almost killed Shrub. And I think he'd just make this cold and calculative assessment and be like, I need to continue this so that I can help my god and help save the fucking world. But I can't do it in your vicinity if you're a threat to me.
That's fair. Well,
Now, I have a little something. If Thevin and Redwood does have an argument and split up, I honestly think Chisel would try to go with the party with the person in the right. So let's say if Thevin killed Shrub, he's clearly in the wrong. So Chisel, heartbroken by betrayal, just kind of tries to stick with Redwood, trying to go through his grief while trying not to be a burden.
I will say it's fine. Like in all these examples of us discussing it, it's always A, it's Thevin and Road who have beef, and B, it's always Thevin in the wrong.
Yes, but you also are the one that's so close to basically transforming and destroying the party.
I've gotten better at it.
Yes, but if you get low enough, you don't have control.
that is a fair point.
And you do a lot of damage.
You do a fuck ton of damage. Well, I think that is a good section for us to end it off for in the margins
Before we
today.
delve into fisticuffs.
Before you guys actually start physically trying to fight each other through your computer screens.
I don't even have to go to my computer. I can go to Casey's house. I know where he lives. Come on.
But that
Nobody, well, Jared doesn't know where I live.
I can find out.
I can give you his address if you want me to.
Yeah.
Why?
Anyways,
Funny.
thank you everybody so much for watching this episode in the margins. We hope you had a fantastic time with us as we played the RPG Campfire card deck once more. And we will see you next week for the next episode. Episode 17 of Chapter 1?
I think so. It's
Uh,
either 17 or
Jesus.
18.
17 or 18. And yeah, have a good night. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
We're level 6, right?
Yes.